Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Once again, I am Ariadna if you did not already know me, and if you did, welcome back to another video. For today's video, I do want to share with you guys pretty much the application process that I had to fix my baby's papers. So if you guys don't know, just a little background information. So I am a US citizen. I have citizenship. I was actually born in Mexico, but I have citizenship because my dad is a US citizen. So I pretty much derived citizenship from him. So he actually fixed my papers when I was little. Point is, I am a US citizen, and I recently had a baby. His name is Sebastian, and he was born in Mexico. We do live in Mexico right now, and his dad is actually here in Mexico as well. His dad is a Mexico citizen, so he has never been to the US or anything. So I'm going to explain pretty much the process that I had to derive citizenship to my baby. So pretty much what we're applying for is a certificate report of birth abroad, which pretty much just says that he was born outside of the US, but he is a US citizen. So my baby is already 5 months. Keep in mind, this whole time we were just in Mexico. We were not traveling to the US because he didn't have his papers yet, and because of COVID, everything was pretty much closed. So everything was done through email, like to set up an appointment and everything. So so right now we do live in Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua. So we went to El Consulado in Juárez. So I'm gonna give you guys the email where I sent my information for the appointment. The email is cdjpassport@state.gov. So pretty much the first email that I sent was just saying, hey, I'm a US citizen, I had a baby in Mexico, and I want to fix his citizenship so we can go back to the US. So pretty much they replied telling me that because of the COVID situation, they're only taking emergency appointments, which if you have an urgent need to travel and require an emergency passport, please email this information, and we will see if we consider your appointment to be an emergency. Keep in mind, this is in Ciudad Juárez or in other places, like in other parts of the border. I'm not sure how it works, but yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys pretty much how I did it. I'm pretty sure if you call, they'll give you an email that you can email depending on where you're staying, where you live, or where you need to go to El Consulado. For me to set up the appointment, so they asked for mother's, father's, and child's information as well. All they asked for was citizenship, whether you're a US citizen, Mexico citizen, anything, full name, date of birth, place of birth, passport number if you have one. If you don't have one, you don't have to put it. Date of travel and destination, like where you need to travel and when you need to travel. Phone number, where you live, like your residence, like your address, and your current location, like where you're at currently. So I sent all of that information over. They called me, and then by the next day they called me. They just asked like, what documents do I have to prove my citizenship, if I have any IDs, how I can prove 5 years of physical presence in the US. So that is the main thing. Like, as long as you have those 5 years proven, you're good to go. Like, you're able to get the citizenship for your baby. That's the only thing they ask for pretty much, that I would consider that could put you at risk of not being able to derive your citizenship to your baby. So you have to prove, yeah, exactly 5 years. So since I did my entire school from kindergarten all the way to college in the US, I was able to prove all those years with just my school records. So so you should be able to prove it, to prove your physical presence. It could be either like tax forms, like where you prove that you've been in the US, working in the US, school records, work records, I don't know, there's a long list. If you just look it up, it tells you these are all the documents you can use to prove your physical presence in the US. So now I'm gonna give you guys exactly the list that they sent me when they approved my appointment. So pretty much this is the email that I received from them. It says, we have reviewed your request for an emergency appointment and it has been approved. Your appointment is this day at this time at the American Citizen Services section of the US Consulate in Ciudad Juárez, Mexico. The thing, I'm going to read the email straight as it is. That way you guys have no questions. It says, father, mother, and child need to be present on your scheduled appointment. with the following forms. If one of the parents cannot be there, I think you have to fill out another form, but I'm not sure, you guys. Jorge was able to be there with me, but if one of the parents isn't there, they just have to fill out another form, which I'm not sure which one it is. You guys can look that up. I'm just gonna give you guys everything that I had to submit I'm just gonna tell you guys everything that I submitted personally to fix his papers. So number 1, DS 2029 form. DS 2029 form. Another form you had to fill out is the DS 11 form. And the DS 11 form is just their passport applications. So when you're submitting to get his citizenship, you automatically have to apply for their passport. By the way, at the end of this, I'm going to tell you guys how much I paid, how much you need to pay in order to get their papers, which is not a lot, you guys. It's not a lot. I know a lot of people are really scared because they're like, maybe it's going to be super expensive. It was not expensive, okay? Okay, so baby's documents that are needed. They need a recent US passport photo. It has to be 2 by 2 inches in color, good quality, and taken less than 6 months ago. They also need a birth certificate and copy. You need a copy of every document. Just keep that in mind, every single document, okay? Birth certificate and copy. Birth records, which is pretty much the paper you get. Oh, by the way, let me mention, you do have to register your baby in the country that they were born in. So I registered my baby here in Chihuahua first. So he has a Mexican birth certificate. So if you have not registered your baby, go ahead and do that first. So yeah, so you need a birth certificate and a copy, and then the birth records, which pretty much is the paper that they give you at the hospital. Whenever your baby is born, they fill out all the paper with the information, the parents' information, your address, your baby's everything. They need that paper as well. You need the original and the copy, and then you also need the immunization records, which is just pretty much la cartilla de vacunas, where it says your baby has had all the shots they need. That's it. That's it for the baby. Literally it. So in this case, since I am the one with the US citizenship, they're asking for all of these documents for me, but if it was the father's, then I think just the father's documents instead of the mother's. Number 1, mother's proof of citizenship and copy. Mother's US passport and copy. Mother's US ID and 2 copies. One of these copies is going to be used for the certificate application, and then one of them is going to be used for the passport application. So that's why they're asking for 2 copies. Mother's social security card and copy. And then this is where I was talking about documents to provide proof of mother's presence in the US prior to child's birth for at least 5 complete years, and at least 2 of those after the parent turned 14 years old. So yeah, you need to prove at least 5 years of presence in the US, and at least 2 of those years have to be when you were over 14 years old. So you can prove maybe 3 years when you were from like 3 years in elementary, but then 2 of those years have to be when you were over 14 years old. So that's it. And you also need copies of all those papers. I got my school records. If you just go, like, if you're in school and you're proving your school years, I just went to AISD because I went to Arlington School District. You ask for your school records. They just have to put that it's for immigration purposes. So that's pretty much how I got my school records. So they also ask for a marriage certificate if either of the parents have been married, and a copy, which not our case because we're not married yet. So we didn't need to put in that information. Any divorce papers, which wasn't necessary because we were not ever divorced, either of us. And then they only asked for father's ID and 2 copies. That's it. Just 2 copies of the father's ID. And then the last thing that they asked for is a declaration that the child has never been issued a social security number. And then they actually sent me the form for the social security number thing. They sent it to me, so I'm pretty sure they'll send it to you too. If not, you can just look up, I think on Google you just look up like paper to declare that baby has never had a social security or something like that, and that's it. And that was pretty much it. So that was the last thing on the list. Declaration that the child has never been issued a social security number. And that's all the paperwork they need. That's literally it. And then the end of this email says, be advised that if you do not present all of your requirements as stated, we may not be able to take your application. And then they just asked me to reply to the email saying that the appointment was confirmed, and that was it. So okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is how much I spent to fix his papers. What was the total amount of money I spent? Okay, so right here they also give you the list where it tells you exactly how much money you need, because, well, in my case they did ask for me to have everything with exact change in cash, so could not pay with card. I don't know if you're going to another consulate or whatever, you'll be able to pay with card, but in my case we weren't able to, so they did give me the exact amounts. So right here it says, cost for consular services must be paid in exact cash with exact change. Fees, so the fees are as follow. So the consular report of birth abroad is only $100. So that's all you need to pay to fix a citizenship. $100. That's it, nothing else. $100, like close to just 100. That's it. And then since you are applying for their passport, you have the option whether you want to get the passport book, the passport card, or both. So if you're only getting the passport book, it's $115. If you're getting the passport card, it's $50, or if you want to get both, it's $130. In my case, we only got the passport book, which was only $115. And then, so right now, since they are shipping the certificates, like they're not putting them there, you need to pay for like the shipping cost, which right here it just told me to have 150 Mexican pesos. So 150 pesos mexicanos. Exact, that's it. So you need $100, 115, or 130, or $50 depending on which passport you're getting, and then 150 pesos mexicanos. That's it. Okay, and then also I do want to mention, so the day that I went to the appointment, it was actually on a Tuesday. So my family was already here on Tuesday because they were going to take us back to the US like the next day. So since they're not printing the papers there, I was gonna have to wait like an extra week for the papers to get here and then be able to cross the border. So I told them I had an emergency and I had to go because of work like the next day, which I did. So when they told me it was gonna take about a week or two for the papers to arrive, I told them I had an emergency. I had to go. They just asked me. All they asked was, "What's your reason?" And I said, "Work." That's literally all I said. No explanation. I just said work. And they gave me an emergency passport that same day. So we walked out of El Consulado with his emergency passport. His emergency passport is it's valid for an entire year. So 1 year you can come and leave the country with that emergency passport. But they also gave me this paper where if I apply for his official passport, the 5-year one, before that year ends, I actually get the other passport for free. So yeah, so pretty much all I paid was $115 and $100 and 150 pesos mexicanos. That's all the money we needed, and that was literally it. Like our appointment was at 9 in the morning. We walked out of there like at 12 with the baby's emergency passport, left to the US the next day. I really hope this video was helpful for you guys. I know I have been getting a lot of questions of you guys asking how we did it so quickly. So you guys, all you have to do is follow the steps I just told you. It's exactly what I did. I really hope I can help you guys out, because I know when I had Sebastian, I had so many questions. And I wish I would have just found a video like this that told me exactly what I needed, every single step of how to do it. So yeah, I really hope this was helpful for you guys. I wish you guys luck if you're fixing your baby's papers, and I love you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, you guys, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I will try to answer all the questions as possible. Love you guys. Bye.